Let the recording start. Okay. Hello, participants. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and very early good morning to our today's speaker, Juan Mejia. And he has joined us on a very early morning from Spain. And today he'll be sharing
No,
his
no, no.
insights.
I'm in Colombia.
Pardon? Oh, Colombia. I'm so sorry.
That's
From
okay. Yeah.
Colombia. Okay. And he's going to share his insights on the application of TRIZ to the development of business models in Colombian SMEs. So without making much ado, I would just hand over the session to Juan. And Juan, please introduce yourself and continue with your presentation.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me today. My name is Juan Mejia. I'm from Colombia, and I have been promoting and teaching TRIZ since 2014. Right now, I became in 2022. I became level 4 practitioner or professional, and I'm truly delighted to be here and to share with you some new applications of this fascinating methodology in this, this time beyond its traditional technical domains. And first of all, I would like to ask you for I haven't spoken English in a while, so I'm kind of roast. So forgive my English if I don't pronounce it well or I don't build sentences properly. But anyway, let's go with the presentation. I hope to cover it in between 45 to 50 minutes. This is the content. I will not read it because of time limitations, but I will cover these topics from problem statement, root causes, and finally, I will talk about the contribution to knowledge and the state of the art of the publication of my research. Let's start with problem statement. In Colombia, 70% of SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, fail within the first 2 years of operations. And actually, uh, worldwide statistics are similar, with 60% failing within the first 2 years of operations. Uh, of course, this is alarming, especially when we consider that SMEs generate over 50% of the jobs in Colombia and 35% of the gross domestic product. So you see the impact that this has on Colombian economy. And in emerging countries, these statistics are quite similar. But let's analyze why do SMEs fail? Um, and hold on a second, please. Uh, uh, One of the key reasons is that they don't have a design strategy. And if they have a strategy, it is inconsistent. I mean, they are changing it from time to time, and there's no continuity with their strategy. They are thinking in short term, and they are quite ambitious. The owners of the SMEs, at least here in Colombia, they would like to be millionaires overnight, and that's not happened. Uh, uh, and they don't design contingency plans and this world economy is changing on a daily basis, so no contingency plans are a problem. Their project, their life project, does not fit with the project of their organizations or companies. They do not uh, do financial planning. Of course, all SMEs worldwide have limited access to capital, and that's another problem. Uh, they are taking decisions emotionally, not rationally, and that's another problem. And one of the main problems that I found is that they don't analyze the external environment, and finally, they, I mean, they believe by having a solid value proposition, it's enough to compete. And this is the cost of the problem that I would like to tackle, because all business, all uh, value proposition should be supported by a solid business model, and this is why I am here trying to tackle this problem. Okay, um, let's talk about literature gap. There are lack of consensus about the definition of BMI. I mean, BMI stands for Business Model Innovation. You will see this acronym across my presentation. Uh, and it is fragmented and in emerging research, even though there are a lot of publications. Uh, there are not as many publications about trees being applied to business model innovation, and that's why I refer to lack of structure and replicable methodologies and frameworks. You know, what I found is that um, there are well-known frameworks like the Lean. I mean, first of all, we have the business model canvas created or designed by Osterwalder and his colleague, uh, which help us to uh, understand. It's a graphical way to understand the logic about a business model. I mean, the strategy that a company has. However, and we also have, sorry, the Lean Canvas, and the Lean Canvas. It's another way to reflect a business model. We also have the St. Gallen Navigator, and also we also have the platform business models, which is very used in digital businesses. However, what I found is that they do not have strong problem solving tools, and this is why I thought, when I started this PhD, I thought there is an opportunity for applying TRIZ, which does have strong problem-solving tools, as we all know, uh, and it could be a strong complement, uh, or a strong tool to be applied in business model innovation. Okay. So why do I say that? Because trees fortunately has strong analytical tools, strong problem solving tools. We also have in our methodology good tools to be applied in the open innovation field. And finally, we also have good tools for prospecting technologies. I mean, and that combination, I thought it was a good made TRIZ a good candidate to be applied in this field, business model innovation, which I already told you, no, not many companies. I mean, there is no many research in the world about this topic. Okay. So here is the research question. Um, uh, how can TRIZ innovation methodology be applied to the development of new business models for manufacturing SMEs to generate feasible value propositions? You see the word manufacturing highlighted. Why manufacturing? Well, I try to do the research easier for me, and since TRIZ is very applicable in the manufacturing sector. So I didn't want to complicate my research, and I focused firstly on manufacturing SMEs. And for future present research, I should say this uh, uh, research direction should follow with other sectors like the service sectors or big companies as well. And feasible because I didn't want to uh, validate my proposals to be about viable value propositions, because that take longer time, and I didn't have that time. So I just want to make sure that the model works independently, if it will survive over time, because I don't have time to do that longer research. Okay, the objectives. The first objective was to evaluate the impact of TRIZ on business model innovation when applied to the business model canvas. BMC stands for Business Model Canvas, just for your knowledge. Second objective is to analyze the integration of trees to business model and the business model canvas through two real case studies, exploring their synergy and contributions to innovative business model design. Uh, then explore innovative approaches in business model innovation using trees. As I told you, there's no many literature available in the world. Identify and underutilized assets in SMEs with the potential to be used more efficiently within or beyond their industry. And here I applied an open innovation tool that is called reverse function oriented search, that some of you might be familiar with. Um, the fifth objective is to analyze the business models of two Colombian SMEs by applying TRIZ to identify improvements in their business models, contribute with academic knowledge on the application of TRIZ in BMI, and provide SMEs with an algorithm that enables them to innovate their business models. Those are the objectives. Let's continue with the theoretical framework. My research is based on three pillars. The first one, of course, is our methodology TRIZ. And you see here very seminal authors of TRIZ, starting from Henry Schuller, who's the creator or originator of this methodology. And the second pillar is, of course, the business model innovation field and the business model canvas. And you see here seminal authors like Alexander Osterwalder and Yves Pigner, which were the fathers of the business model canvas, this framework that is widely, very used in the world. We have a Henry Chesbrough, who's the father of open innovation, and David Tiss, which is one of the seminal authors about business model innovation, which I recommend if someone of you would like to follow this research direction. And the third pillar is about case studies methodology. Because my research is exploratory. So I based on this methodology, which was created originally by Kathleen Eisenhart in 1989. Those three authors are other authors that are very seminal in this topic. Why trees? What is trees? I will pass very fast in this slide, because all of you are familiar with our methodology. It it was born out of the patent analysis. It's about functionality, about formulating innovative problems as contradictions, and we do have strong problem-solving tools. Also, we have tools for open innovation and for technology foresight, and that's why I believed this our methodology would be a good match, or it could be used properly or efficiently in business model innovation. Okay. This is the first hypothesis, the main hypothesis of my research. TRIZ provides analytical tools, problem solving, and technology foresight tools that, when applied to the business model canvas, have the potential to develop new feasible business models. Uh, and there are sort of sub-hypotheses. This is about value proposition. Tools, uh, TRIZ has tools to develop viable value propositions. Uh, Originally, I foresaw these two tools in order to achieve this goal, MPVs analysis and reverse function oriented search. Regarding the key activities building block of the canvas, the hypothesis says TRIZ has tools to develop more efficient key activities. And these are the tools that I originally thought they would help me to achieve the goal. Regarding key resources, TRIZ provides tools to identify and or develop more efficient key resources. Those are the tools that I foresaw. Regarding the key partners building block, TRIZ provides tools to identify key partners. Those are the tools that I foresaw. Um, TRIZ provides tools for cost reduction. Again, those are the tools. Uh, Moving on to the customer segments, TRIZ has tools to identify new market segments, and this is the tool that I foresaw. And finally, and here I was not sure which tools I was going to use in these three building blocks, which are called the front office building blocks of the canvas. They are the customer relations, channels, and revenue streams. Originally, I thought about flow analysis to do the to achieve the goals. And I thought, what if I used some other innovation methodologies like design thinking or systematic inventive thinking, SIT. And so this is the hypothesis that I wrote. Uh, and I want to make a comment. Just in the first stages of my research, when I was trying to figure out how to apply uh, trees to business model innovation, I made a survey with several trees masters just to ask them which tools did they recommend to be applied in every single building block of the canvas. And they provided me with some alternatives, and those alternatives were included in this hypothesis. So I had the help of those TRIZ masters. Okay, let's continue. This is about the case study methodology, which is exploratory, as I mentioned before. As the research progressed, important findings were discovered. And uh, let's continue with the uh, criteria for selecting the SMEs I worked with. Originally, I picked 4 SMEs. What do they have in common? Or what was the criteria for selecting them? First of all, they were familiar with trees. All of them, at least one employee was trained. Actually, all of them were trained by me in trees. This helped a lot because trees is not an easy methodology to work with. It takes time to have some kind of command over it. So it helped me a lot. The second criterion is that they do have the same strategic challenge. They were facing some financial problems and they needed to redesign their business model. So that's another important criterion. And the third one is the potential for extrapolation. Even though this is a quantitative approach, I mean, my research is not I mean, it is qualitative, I mean, not quantitative, but qualitative, not quantitative. I try to choose these SMEs in order to be representative in the manufacturing sector, with the purpose of extrapolate afterwards the results. During the course of the research, unfortunately, two of them drop off, and that's one of the limitations of my research. You know, build a model innovation is not an easy task. It takes too long. It consumes a lot of resources, and then two of them say, you know, we cannot continue. We don't have time anyway. But fortunately, I could do it with two. Okay, how did I do it? First of all, I started by analyzing key resources. So my idea was, let's focus on those key resources that are not properly used or are underutilized, and see what properties do they have, uh, and how can I leverage those properties in perhaps in some other industries where there are or there is less competition. And that's the logic behind my research. So, of course, for those of you who are familiar with reverse function oriented search, that's the goal of reverse function oriented search: identifying adjacent markets or even remote markets. So the first tool I applied was reverse function oriented search. Starting from key resources, I identified some new potential clients. Of course, these forced me to develop new value propositions in order to serve those markets. Also, it forced us to develop new key activities, and it was necessary to transform the right part, I mean the left part of the canvas, which is called the back office. They are called the back office building blocks. So we need to identify new key partners, and of course, when you're transforming the activities and the resources, so it is necessary to make big changes on the cost structure, and those are the tools that I used trying to achieve this goal. Reverse function-oriented search, function-oriented search, engineering contradiction, physical contradiction, trimming. Of course, the Altshuler matrix is not written here. The trends of engineering system evolutions, the standard inventive solutions, and the cost and effect chain analysis, among others. And then to improve the left part, I mean the right part of the canvas, those building blocks that are part of the front office, I mean, which are the front office building blocks of the business model canvas, which are customer relations, channels, and revenue streams. These are the tools that I ended up applying to improve those three building blocks. Okay, let's talk about the case studies. I will pass through very fast. Um, the first SME is called Cocotec. It's located in the north part of Colombia, close to the Caribbean Sea, and it's a company dedicated to solving problems and challenges. They, buy coconut husk, and they mill it and transform it into substrates, and they sell it for agricultural uses. Uh, the problem is that this process does not generate enough added value, and they had poor financial performance in 2021. Uh, this was aggravated, but the limited public utilities, water and energy, very inconsistent, and it being as I mean, being the coconut husk a commodity with lot of added value, they could not increase their prices. It was a price war, so that's why they were struggling. So the first thing, I mean, I performed many interviews with the owner of this company, uh, just to collect the information. And this information is here in the business model canvas that you can see here. Of course, I will not go through any through all of the building blocks, because we don't have time. Just to let you know that with the information, I put it in the business model canvas to understand their strategy. So we applied the algorithm, and we selected as the key resources to work with its raw material, the coconut fiber, or the core fiber as it's also known, very popular in your country, by the way. Uh, and and we found out that the coconut fiber has very good properties, physical properties. You see the list here. Uh, I will uh, I will say that the mechanical plasticity was one of the most important, and another is that rot resistant, which we thought we could leverage those properties in other industries. So uh, we applied reverse function oriented search, and we identified 4 new uh, customer segments or industries where these properties could be applied more efficiently. I'm talking about the core fiber properties. So we identified these 4 customer segments or industry, let's say: the footwear industry, the construction industry, the agro industry, and the textile industry. This last was discarded because here in Colombia, coconut fiber was already sold to that industry, and of course, also it was also the coconut fiber as a commodity didn't allow us uh, uh, to be more competitive in this in this industry. Okay, so to make the story, the long story short, uh, we could the solution was to produce coconut fiber sheet uh, by adopting a technology. And of course, we did this with the reverse function oriented search, and we applied another TRIZ tool for open innovation, that is function oriented search, because we needed to create not oven naps made from coconut fiber, and we applied the FOS algorithm to identify enabling technologies that could be used or adapted here in Colombia to produce these naps. And it was funny because we identified the airlay technology, which is an Indian technology, and we found on the web some blueprints about how to manufacture or to produce this. And we did what you see here is the first prototype of the machine uh, that we produce here in Colombia, that we manufacture here in Colombia. I need to tell you that this machine has had some improvements. Unfortunately, I don't have the pictures with me right now, but with this technology, we produce these sheets. We could do I don't know the word for this. Covers for not covers, but I mean these are much covers for crops, and these are thermo insulation panels for construction. This is for I mean for
You mean
I don't
pots?
remember the. I'm sorry.
Pots for plantation?
Exactly. Thank you. Pots and that's the other use that we identified for this company. So finally, we created a new business model canvas. This is the new business model for this company. Uh, I mean, I made the story, the long story, very short. This process took about 2 years. We had to solve many secondary problems. We have to solve quality problems. We have to reduce costs abruptly by the adoption of the airlay technology. We could eliminate labor, which was very costly. And finally, we could offer this value proposition to those markets in a very competitive way. Let's jump to the second case study. It is about a company, located very close to Bogota, the Colombian capital. This company is in the construction sector, is about laminating, printing, and installing flat glasses for the construction. The commercial manager was trained by Alex Lubomirsky in 2014 in level 3. And this lady and her company wanted to, I mean, they had also poor financial results in 2021, and they had an underutilized infrastructure, so they were willing to participate in my project to innovate their business model. So this is the again after a series of interviews. Let's say it was in average 10 interviews of 2 hours each. I collected all the whole information about their business, and it was here. It is here, right, in this business model canvas, just to understand their strategy. So we started from the the key resources building block, analyzing their assets, and we identified two assets that were extremely underutilized. The first one is the glass lamination or laminating furnace, which has an utilization uh, index of 30%. That's a problem. And also the glass printer with 50% of utilization. They are in the constructor sector, aggressive price war, negative margins. The sector has been declining since 2019. I mean, it is a declining rate of the 16%. So we focused on the flat lamination furnace to see what other applications uh, could have this asset to explore new markets, as the same as we did with the previous SME. So we identified three potential markets: the armor glass manufacturing industry, the mirrors manufacturing industry, and the solar panel manufacturing industry. So we decided to apply it in the third industry, in the solar manufacturing industry. What you see here is one solar panel made in this furnace. Of course, I'm talking this story very fast, but it took about 2 years to get to achieve that result. Uh, you see here the process was very manually. Here they are assembling the solar panel. Here we are testing the results of the solar panel, but it was a painful road. Uh, we performed several tests or trials, and during the majority of trials, the solar cells got broken. And that was because, I mean, the root causes of that problem were several. We had to eliminate those um, problems, applying TRIZ tools, until finally we could produce solar panels using this furnace. Uh, in uh, and today the company has the capacity to produce solar panels by using a machine that whose purpose was very different. Um, However, I need to admit that the efficiencies that these solar panels achieved were not as high as the ones that are available in the market, but at least it is a uh, feasible value proposition that we achieved, which is the purpose of my thesis. So, uh, my recommendation, because they were just enthusiastic with producing solar panels and try to enter into new market. And I say, we don't have good efficiencies in assembling the solar panels. It's very manual. Uh, a lot of human errors are involved in this process. The the efficiencies of solar of electricity generation are not as high as available in the market. So my recommendation was no. This is not the business model we want to work with. My recommendation was no. You should uh, offer the lamination service for those companies that are in this industry, because one of the things that we took advantage from, I'm talking about the furnace, is that its productivity is much higher than those machines available in the Colombian market to produce solar panels, while these machines can produce one solar panel per batch. Here in this furnace, we can produce up to 12. Uh, so my recommendation was, let's take advantage of this productivity, offer just the service of laminating. You can, of course, continue using the furnace in your current industry, but you can leverage the furnace. I mean, to increase its productivity by offering this service to those companies that are producing solar panels. So let's talk about the results. We had six hypotheses. The main hypothesis was validated, that trees could um, uh, I mean, trees with all of its metal tools can enable the development of valuable value proposition. That was validated. Uh, uh, we validated the second one regarding key activities, that trees have tools to develop more efficient key activities. It was also validated, and those are the tools that I ended up applying to achieve this purpose. Regarding the key resources, that was also validated because we could develop new resources with greater efficiency. And these are the tools that I applied. Regarding the key partners, well, it is obvious that it was validated, since we could identify new key partners. Uh, Not only, I mean, mainly those partners who possess inputs and materials or capability to manufacture machinery and equipment. And those are the tools that I ended up applying. Um, the fifth hypothesis was also validated regarding cost reduction. I mean, this was the easiest one because TRIZ is about solving technical problems which are are linked to inefficiencies or costly procedures. So it was easy. This one was easy to validate, and these are the three tools that I ended up applying. And regarding the sixth, uh, actually, this was the first one that I validated because by applying reverse function oriented search, we identified new market segments. And you saw in both case studies which segments were identified. Regarding the last one, the seventh hypothesis about these three building blocks, customer relations, channels, and revenue streams. Uh, I did validate this hypothesis. However, and you will see in the next, and of course, these are the two. Uh, Sorry for this word. Flow analysis is written in Spanish. I forgot to translate that. Uh, um, this was validated. However, I will talk about this the hypothesis later. The results of this uh, validation were not as radical as they were in the other six uh, building blocks. Here, the results were more incremental. This is the main output. This is the algorithm. After having explored and and performed these case studies, I ended up writing the algorithm. I designed the algorithm because this is an exploratory research. This had several transformations until finally I got the final version of the algorithm. It is a 14-step algorithm. Uh, and starting, I know that you can see the lyrics, the letters here, but it says that it starts with current business model analysis, key resources, and you follow for uh, through every building block of the canvas, transforming it until finally you got the new business models for the SME. Uh, Here is what I meant before. Uh, these are the tools that I applied on every single building block of the canvas. And you see uh, this uh, green color. I don't know how to say that in English. Obscure green color. I don't know if you can allow me that. And this
It's okay,
lighter
green.
green.
Green
And
is it.
this is to show you that in this building blocks that has this greener color, let's say, uh, 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 the results were more radical. But in these three, I was not very happy with the results. They were more generic uh, and they were incremental. So I guess there is still space for uh, developing tools, or as my original hypothesis says, uh, that perhaps applying some other innovation methodologies like design thinking or SIT, I could get better results. But since I didn't have the the need to apply those methodologies, which actually I try to avoid just to make the life easier. Uh, but at the end, I have to be honest, there are space for improvement in these three building blocks. So that's a recommendation for future research. There are some room for improvements here in this area. Okay, main conclusions. TRIZ is applicable to business model innovation, integrated with the business model canvas. It enabled the redesign of viable value propositions in these in two Colombian SMEs. Each block was transformed with TRIZ. It enabled the detection, resolution, and holistic redesign. This is what is different from other research that I found. I forced myself to make improvements in every single building block of the canvas. The transition from concept to implementation was achieved. TRIZ became a strategic tool. And that's another purpose that I have, not only applying TRIZ as a problem solving tool, but to use it or to make it as a strategic tool, to transform it as a strategic tool. TRIZ can be applied to entrepreneurship. Uh, that's another conclusion that and more than a conclusion, is something that I would like to encourage TRIZ practitioners to follow this uh, in this research, working with startups. Just before they launch their products, they could use this algorithm to innovate their business model, to change it, to make it more robust before going into the market. TRIZ enable the TRIZ discovery of opportunities in distant markets, and this is one of the first hypotheses that I validated. Some limitations, I mentioned some before, methodological limitations, limited literature on TRIZ in BMI, the time and execution constraints. I mean, only 2 of the 4 planned cases were completed uh, due to their long duration. Uh, this is an exploratory research, a qualitative research, so generalizability, well, is not. We cannot generalize, even though I chose those SMEs with that purpose, but this is not a quantitative research. Applications in limitation, high complexity of trees. That's a very a limitation of our methodology. To command the methodology, it takes time. Uh, Resource scarcity of SMEs, and long timelines for enabling technologies. Uh, I mentioned the airlight technology. It took almost 2 years to have the final prototype. It was not an easy task. It took longer. Uh, Specific limitations on trace, greater impact on the back office building blocks, but there are still room for improvement, perhaps creating new TRIZ tools. That's another um, direction that TRIZ practitioners might follow. Not only combining with other TRIZ methodologies, but to develop new TRIZ tools, which would be great. Future research, apply TRIZ to new sectors, large corporation or the service sectors. As I mentioned, I focused only on manufacturing SMEs. Um, Validate TRIZ in entrepreneurial ventures. I already mentioned that. Design new TRIZ tools for the front office. I already mentioned that. Integrate TRIZ with complementary methodologies and expand the study sample. Perhaps to increase the the I mean, implement the algorithm in more companies of different sizes and contexts to improve the generalizability of the results. Contribution to knowledge. Well, TRIZ applied to BMI in a structured, systematic, and holistic way. I didn't find an algorithm like this, even though I found some applications in business model innovation. But what I found is those applications were focused on 2 or 3 building blocks of the canvas, but not the holistic way that I proposed. Development of a replicable algorithm, exploration of the new markets, and contribution to academic literature. And since my PhD is about technological innovation, technological and innovation management, so I want to contribute with this specific field in strategic innovation, technology development and adoption, open innovation and collaboration, which was it was proved, uh, change and risk management, sustainability and digital transformation, and design of new methodological tools, which I did. And this is the topic that the research that I want to share with you guys, and I would like to uh, ask, I mean, answer questions for you.
Wonderful presentation, Juan. And the forum is now open for questions. Dimitri, Harsha, you have any question? Feel free to ask.
Yes, Sandeep sir, thank you. Can I take the first one?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, Yuang, first of all, compliments to you,
Thank you.
you know, for blending and applying the trees knowledge for solving the real life problems for the SMEs. And
Mhm.
in the initial slides where you have identified, why do SMEs fail? Possible reasons, one or the other reason.
Yes.
Correct. So in that, one of the parameters was financial planning. Correct.
Mhm.
So if I understand correctly, initially you must have seen that these are the possible root causes which were technical as well as financial planning perspective. So it means they haven't prepared the financial feasibility in a proper manner before starting the business, and also they are not monitoring it as the business moves on. Those are the possible
That's right.
reasons. Okay, okay.
That's right. They believe that by having a great idea that will be, or which is a value proposition,
Okay.
they will conquer the world.
Okay.
And they and it's not a problem of of Colombian SMEs only. You know, during this research, I read a lot of papers um, from many countries: India,
Yes.
Middle East,
Yes.
Europe, North America, South America, and I found these common causes.
Right. Right.
uh, SMEs are founded by, I cannot generalize, but many of the owners of SMEs have not gone through universities, you know?
Yes.
So they believe just by having a good value proposition, that would be enough. And those are the causes that generate the poor financial results for the and create these awful statistics that 70% of them fail by the second year of
Right.
operation.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes, and what you said, even we are observing it in Indian scenario with the SME clients of ours. So they start with the lot of enthusiasm, but the groundwork is not done, and then they start getting the roadblocks or difficulties, and then
exactly.
they try to find escape route or whatever, rather than.
Right.
Yeah, but congratulations to you and compliments to you for this great work,
Thank
because
you.
you have shared the practical applications and results of those efforts. Thank you. It was nice
No,
to
you're
be
welcome.
connected with you. You know, uh, so if you allow, I will take your contacts from
Of
Sir,
course.
Sandeep sir,
Sure.
and we
Yes,
can share.
basically this forum itself is for networking, no
Yes.
issues.
So,
You're most welcome.
yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Ivan.
Thanks
No,
for
you're
your
welcome.
question. Yep. Any other question?
I
Sandeep
have
sir,
one
can I just
question.
make a comment?
Yeah, welcome. Anirudh?
Yeah. So, one,
Okay,
thank you so
go ahead.
much. Thank you so much for this presentation. So, I don't have a question. I just wanted to share with you that I work very closely with the SMEs in manufacturing, mid-sized manufacturing companies in India. And I think you have given me a new direction or a new way to think about, how to think about this whole innovation or business model innovation. So, I recently completed my TRIZ level one under the guidance of Sandeep sir. So thank
Uh-huh.
you for this. I think I'll connect with you offline
Oh,
and try
yes.
and learn more
Please,
from you.
please.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah,
delighted to help you with
sure, sure.
this purpose.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Of
I think
course.
what problems you have narrated for Colombian SMEs more or less same apply for Indian SMEs. So I've been working for last 15 years, and we try and help companies who have stagnated grow. So I'm a theory of constraints practitioner, but I'm also very interested in TRIZ, and what you have presented is really enlightening. Thank you so much.
No, you're very welcome.
Thanks for good words. Dimitri, you are working in the same area. Have any questions? This is a good opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Meha, for the presentation. Actually, I found it very, very interesting because I found it connected not only with my research, and to me, it's one of the field that was less explored in the application of trees all around the literature. My question is, do you use specific tools for your case studies, or do you use, for example, the case study about the coconut, do you use a specific tool for its situation, and you use another specific tools for the other manufacturing company, or did you build a framework that you can apply to each type of SMEs in order to improve their business models? How did your system work? Your
Yes.
methodology or your
Yeah, I understand your question. Yeah, I started from the same, I mean, when I worked with the four, unfortunately, I only ended up with two. I started always from the key resource, just because trees is about technologies, right? And in the process, that followed this algorithm that you saw, not I did not apply the same TRIZ tools for every case. For instance, I didn't have to use function-oriented search in the TMB business case, the company in the construction sector. But I did have to apply function-oriented search to identify enabling technologies for Cocotec. And that's a conclusion. It's interesting because when every innovating problem is different. And we are so fortunate in TRIZ as TRIZ practitioners that TRIZ has a variety of tools available, and you should pick the proper one to solve any problem. So sometimes let's say systematic standard inventive solutions. Those tools, I didn't have to use it in one SME, but I have to use it in the other SME. So that's the versatility that TRIZ provides. I was trying to solve problems in two different contexts, one in the construction sector and another one in the agricultural sector. So the problems are not the same. So you need to pick the tools that are available and that you think will better solve the problem. So I don't know if I'm answering the question properly. But the thing is that you have the algorithm, and actually, I also think that you might start not from key resources, but from key activities. I'm talking about the algorithm. Perhaps in some cases, it could make more sense to start not from the key resources building block, but from the key activities building block. And that might be another way to apply the algorithm. The algorithm is not rigid, it's not fixed. It's just a guide to, it's a roadmap to guide you around the whole canvas to solve problems in the business model.
All right, thank you for your answer. But one more question, but not related directly to the research. Is it okay to link up with you outside of this talk, like for academic collaboration, something like that?
Of course, of course.
Maybe you can
feel
drop
free.
that.
Yeah, feel free.
You will leave your email here.
Yes, I'm gonna
Okay,
write
thank you.
it
Dimitri,
here.
while you have registered, you might have registered through email. So I'll forward it to you. No worries.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay. One is
I will
already typed
also
it.
write
Yeah.
my cell phone, even though it's already shared.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, guys. Please feel free to contact me anytime.
So nice of you.
No. Oh.
So any more questions? Okay. So though we may be at the end of this session, but this is not an end. As we have seen, everybody is interested in networking and knowing more and more. So that is the very reason why we have started TRIZ Talks, and we'll all make a network so that everybody practices TRIZ and complement each other with their own strength. So in this way, we can take TRIZ to the next level, and rather to everyone who wants to innovate, everyone who wants to learn, study, whatever they want to do, they must go through TRIZ. That is the message which we have, and which will be very fruitful. And one step ahead, we have already gone with today's wonderful presentation by Juan Media. Thank you so much, Juan. And thank
You're
you
very
so
welcome.
much for, yeah, it's our pleasure. And thank you so much for all the participants who are here and for not only listening patiently, but also interacting actively. So with this, I would like to say, like we have already completed 29th chapter today of TRIZ Talks. And next would be the 30th one, and it would be on 30th May. Stay tuned. We will come up with a similar wonderful speaker who would enlighten us with the knowledge of the TRIZ, whatever they have practiced. So
All right,
thank you so much again. And I know from
organizing
different
this.
time zones, people have come over here, and thanks for them as well. So with this, I'm Sandeep Wankhede signing off, and from TRIZ Asia and also AISSMS College of Engineering TRIZ chapter. And stay tuned, stay connected, stay
Thank you.
TRIZing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you, Mr.
guys.
Thank you, Sandeep sir.
Thank you very much
Welcome,
for
welcome.
having
All right.
me.
We'll keep